The Critshow contains elements of horror, fantasy violence, and adult language. Content warnings can be found in the episode description.
What part of Do Not Disturb do you not understand?
I'm sorry.
We were trying to get the silence.
Okay, in my defense,
Yeah.
I was putting it
Was
on
that you?
silent
Uh-huh.
as I opened my phone to turn the volume down. I did get a notification that the frog cam in Australia that I watch is live on Twitch, and it's a guy who just put a bunch of cameras up so you can watch frogs outside.
That's fair.
Well,
This is
let's
very
just
important.
cancel the intro and do
Yeah.
that.
Let's just watch that instead. Yeah.
Okay. Really, there's not a whole lot for this intro. That's a lie. There's a lot going on.
There's a lot.
There's a lot going on. So Gen Con events have gone live. They have already sold out. That does not necessarily mean that you can't get into one of our games. People overcommit themselves, and then they don't show up. So if you are someone that did not get into one of our games and you want to play, get some generic tickets, show up. There's a better than average chance you'll probably find a seat.
Yeah, and Jake in particular will always run a table of at least 12 people, so he's fine with that. So we can always squeeze people in. I wish
the
this was a
glare.
visual medium more than anything in the world right
the
now.
slow turn to look at Tass.
Also, if you want to get a ticket to our live show at the Indiana Repertory Theater, you can find those at theCritshowPodcast.com/GenCon. We are in the 4th floor upper stage theater. Show starts at 8 o'clock. The house will open at 7:30. We're doing kind of a more of a, like you're showing up to see a show, and the show will be presented, and then it will be over than we have done in the past. So we're very excited about it. So if you are going to be in Gen Con, or if you're just in Indianapolis and you want to join for the show, you can head there to get a ticket. You do not need a Gen Con badge to attend.
And while you're there, I mean, feel free to just break some stuff off and take it with you as souvenirs. Tass wants you to feel comfortable in this place of work. So whatever you want to do, any base instinct you want to give into while you're there, just make sure that, Tass's signature is kind of all over it.
And
Turnabout's fair play.
yeah. And then lastly, if you are available tomorrow, if you're listening to this episode the day that it comes out, tomorrow we are doing live stream for The Cure. That is at twitch.tv/livestream for The Cure. We are at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern, and we'll be playing a one-page RPG to help raise funds for a very good cause. So hope to see you there. Got any update on that frog?
Still cute.
Nice.
Your party is on the cliff's edge, facing off against this pale stranger, Tass with a jammed gun, and this figure just sort of languidly reaching towards his in his holster.
Whoa, stop. Okay, Tass, just everybody stop. This doesn't need to be a gunfight, okay? Jake, looking at his reaction as he's slowly going for his gun, does it seem like there's any possibility he can be reasoned with? He's kind of given us a lot of non-answers. I don't know if that's intentional or a part of some sort of curse. I want to understand what he's feeling right now.
You do notice as you call out for a ceasefire that this figure kind of almost exaggeratedly freezes, theatrically, hand over his gun, oh, and hold still. But you can go ahead and roll to read a person.
8.
Okay. You get one question.
What is your character really feeling?
He's having fun. And I think you get the impression that this is the kind of shit he'd be doing if he had a choice in the matter. Whether he does or does not doesn't really matter, because even if he had free will, he'd still be fucking with you guys. And I don't think you're getting any particular vibe of compulsion. Man, I'm trying not to say the line from Fallout, but it's accurate. He does this shit for the love of the game.
Look, I can see that you're enjoying this, but there's got to be some agreement that we can come to. You've got to want something.
I mean, I like a challenge. So if y'all want to go try and find hiding places or something like that, I would find that mighty enjoyable.
Okay, us being hunted wasn't exactly what I had in mind.
Oh,
He's fucking with us.
Yeah, okay, I can see that.
I mean, what do y'all want to talk about? It's been a long time since I had company, so I'm having a good time. I'm enjoying all of y'all.
Who put you up here? Was this Nash?
Oh yeah, for sure.
How do you know him?
Well, he created me, for lack of a better word.
Are you a vampire?
No, and I'm not really. To the best of my knowledge, I am a singular entity. I think I lived once. I don't remember it though. I think saying I might even be disingenuous there, because whatever lived in this body once upon a time is not me.
Would you like to remember?
No, not particularly. I like me.
You know what I think we should do? I think we should all go down. There's a lovely little tavern with some friends down in Lost Hope. We're good with them. I say we all just go down there and have a drink, tell life stories. You tell us about the fun things you like to do. Maybe you do the hunt us thing down there where there's, there's some more like terrain. It's more fun.
Oh, hell, I would love to, but I cannot leave this plateau.
The circle keeping you in?
It is. I would have been shooting things that were a lot more fun than birds if it weren't.
Oh, well, let me scratch out one of these runes real quick. You can get out and we'll just go down. Yeah, come on.
That's the one thing I can't let you do.
That was I was close though, right? That was pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. Look, genuinely, I do kind of enjoy all of you being here. I think that if circumstances were different and I was alive and didn't have a job to do and whatnot, I think you'd be a fun gang to ride with. But rules is rules. Now you can, theoretically, just head on back down the side and ain't nobody got to die here. Although that's not my preferred option. But who knows, you could maybe best me in a test of acrobatics or something to get on past my bullets and get yourselves out of here into safety. I can't follow.
Would it be all right if we stepped aside for a moment?
Oh, it depends for how long that moment lasts, because you're starting to get boring, and once you get boring, I'm going to kill you.
I will step aside, but we will not stop dancing as we do so.
Tass will not stop dancing.
Quick like, and I just wave them over and step back towards the wreckage of our vehicle.
Don't laugh while you say vehicle. Like you wanted to end it with, if you can call it that.
And let's not call it wreckage. It is still working.
It still works.
Are you just commenting on its general construction?
Yeah. The wreckage I was talking about was the whole situation we're in.
Megan made this from a box of scraps in a cave.
What are our chances of getting down along the side and hucking something up here that'll fuck up the runes?
What did he mean by he's lucky? What's to say we throw dynamite up there and he doesn't shoot it out of the air back over the edge towards us?
Very good point. Otherwise, I shot him. He was shot. The shot happened and nothing. So
not seem like it mattered.
Yeah. So if we're going to have to deal with him, I defer to ye the magic folk.
Okay, well, I still think that the idea you had, Tass, is a good one. It reminds me of Chicago. If we are dealing with a creature who can eat luck or mess with luck, it's possible he can only eat one sandwich at a time. If he is trying to neutralize, I don't know, somebody shooting at him or doing something that might create a window for someone else to try to mar the rune.
You're brilliant. That's brilliant.
You all hear a gunshot, and Tass, a bullet lands in the dirt right near your feet. You promised me dancing.
I just start doing a little Lord of the Dance right here.
Ugh, don't dance for him.
What happened to you when you died? You came back real different.
Did you guys get the right person back?
Kim's right. If we split up, come at this from different angles, he can't shoot us all at once.
If we try to mar the rune and like someone else is distracting him, are we sacrificing someone?
Very possibly, which means you guys do what you do best and I'll do what I do best and get my goddamn guns through the portal.
I wonder if it's possible to give him his memories back.
He didn't want them.
I don't think that's what she's saying.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I don't know if that'll change his disposition towards us, but it might distract him long enough.
I can get the rune if someone else can start the car.
I'll get the vehicle back over the edge.
How's your plot going?
Devious!
That's what I like to hear. Is it interesting? Lots of twists and turns?
I don't think we know yet.
Well, I cannot wait to find out.
All right, we're going to unveil our devious plan in 3 seconds. 3, and I just look at Kim like, go, go, go.
I want to try to give this guy his memories back.
Okay, I think you're going to roll to go weird at level 6, and you are going to take an additional -2 on this roll.
9. Can you spend a point of grit to bring it up to a full success, or is it only a fail to a mixed?
No, you can spend a point of grit and invoke an aspect to raise any roll by 1.
I'm plagued by visions, baby.
Okay. Spend your grit. That'll get you up to a full success.
Hell yeah.
You reach into this creature's mind, and you access his memories. And like he said, he doesn't have any of a life before this. You are picking through a brain that is physically not intact anymore and kind of only functions by the mercy of some kind of dark magic. But you can't reach back to anything where this figure was human or alive. All the memories you get are fucking standing up on this plateau and shooting at birds and self-imposed challenges to keep the mind active while it circles the drain of eternity. The rest of you see Kim's eyes go white, and for a moment, the figure seems preoccupied.
I'm gonna shoot at him again.
Yeah, I'm going to sprint for the closest rune.
Tass, why don't you give me a shoot roll first?
Okay.
Does this opportunity give a +1?
I don't think this gives a +1, but it removes the -3.
I think that's extremely reasonable.
Yeah. 14.
Woo, baby!
All right. Where do you hit him?
I'm hoping right between the eyes.
You fire a shot and hit him right between the eyes, and the knockback of that shot is enough to send him kind of just teetering. You know, in this moment, he's kind of catatonic for a split second. That force, he's top heavy. He goes over backwards into the dirt. Rev, why don't you give me an acrobatics?
Okay. 4.
No, man.
All right, you make a break for the nearest rune, and you are just stopped dead in your tracks as something catches your leg. You look back, and just part of the machinery of your vehicle has snagged your jeans, and it's that sturdy denim. It's tough to tear through. Megan, what are you up to?
I know I said that I was going to get the vehicle ready to go, but if we mar the runes and try to take off, he's going to be free to give chase. So I think what I want to do is I want to go weird, and I want to try to move all of the bird bones that are up here in towards the center and kind of like swirl around him and try and bury him under the weight of them like quicksand.
That's so rad.
Okay.
I love it.
Now, when you say all of the bird bones, do you mean literally all of the bird bones in a United States state-sized territory, or just like enough to bury him and swirl around him? I think it changes the level of weird you have to go.
Oh,
Because
damn.
one of them is an extraordinary distance and amount of stuff to telekinesis.
I think
All of them. All of them.
Every bird
all of
bone within 80 square miles.
Yeah.
no. Just every bird bone, including the one still in birds.
Do they get to stay in the birds?
Yeah.
Okay, I think. Whew.
They're just smacking him in the face.
They rocket out of the birds.
God.
There's a guy in his kitchen. He's like just gotten rid of the feathers. He's like, now I got to debug. Oh, great.
Oh, nice.
It's a miracle.
It's a new world plague. Just raining bird flesh, boneless bird flesh. It's like fucking Magneto got a hold of Wolverine.
I don't think it's all of them. I think it's enough to kind of bury him in and impede his progress.
Let's go weird at, let's call it level 4, a la the Dust Storm. And you're going to take a -2 on this roll.
6.
Do you have any grit? Anything to invoke to bump it up?
I do have a grit. I'm just really struggling to figure out anything that makes sense to invoke.
What do you have available?
My belief is that not all monsters are monsters. My current goal is to get Ingrid her grandpa's gun.
Is this like the other side of the coin? Hey, that's the news.
Yes.
I'm not cheering that until I know what the other side of this conversation is.
Yeah. Is this the other side of not all monsters are monsters? Like, we've dealt with a lot of people while we're here that we were able to calm down and get rid of the corruption and so on, but not all monsters are monsters, but here is one that we do have to deal with, and sometimes you have to face that head on as well.
Well, like, not all monsters are monsters, but some of them are.
Yeah.
I feel like that is something that I would invoke against you.
Yeah.
Ah.
That seems like that should have given you an additional -1.
Yeah,
if
that
anything.
like if anything, I could take another one away from you for not all monsters are monsters, but here you are sentencing one to death. Like, this seems like it would go against your belief.
Okay, first of all,
He's already dead.
I would like to roll weird to remove the last few minutes of me talking from the GM's memory.
So I was gonna say I'm not necessarily taking that extra -1, but
Oh, okay.
you know what? I should. I don't remember if I've invoked any of your anythings against you at any point during the course of play. Now that I've thought about it, I probably should.
Yeah. Thanks, Tass.
So best case, you could spend a grit to not have that -1 against you, but that would still just get you to a 6.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be a clear-cut fail.
cool.
Aren't you glad you brought me back?
I love how Jake's like, let's do this on mic. I want everyone to hear as I make this an impossiple situation.
I need
for
everybody's testimony out loud
Yeah,
so it doesn't
As soon
seem...
as Tass put that idea out of the world, I was like, that was not the step. That's the opposite.
you. I don't know. I don't think it's really the opposite of my belief, though, because my belief isn't every monster is good.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Like, if it was they're all good and all savable, I feel like it would be easy to use that against her. But, like, the trope is it's called a monster because it's a terrible thing, and this is proving, no, we can save some. I think it's
Yeah,
fair to...
it's-
yeah.
They're not bad because they are inhuman.
Right.
I mean, we've seen both sides. Like, people can be good, people can be evil. Inhuman things can be good, and they can be evil. This is just an example of that extreme of somebody who wants to do harm that there is no hope for. And I feel like, you know, in character too, like, I have exhausted all efforts to try and reason and come out at a peaceful solution.
It almost, well, again, this gets into a whole, how does invoking work? But it almost seems like something you could have invoked before you got definitive proof that you couldn't reason with him.
Mhm.
Like, you're feeding on that hope. It just depends on if you're invoking it in a way that is going with the statement that's written down or playing off of ideas that are linked to it.
Yeah, like, I feel like I understand that it's not like, you know, no monsters are bad isn't the thing, but not all monsters are monsters is sort of a generalization that I feel like this character still fits within. Like, I don't feel like this affirms or rejects anything about your issue. I might say that argument takes away my ability to invoke it against you, but I don't feel like it supports your ability to invoke it in your favor. Like, just not all monsters are monsters. Yes, he fits within that. Like, he is one of the monsters that is a monster, but...
Does it help at all if I'm not trying to, like, you know, I'm not shooting him. I'm doing something to, like, grapple him, essentially.
Okay, so there's a little bit of, like, mercy in the action you're taking because not all monsters are monsters, and you're not trying to put him down. You're just trying to, like, get him out of your way.
Yeah, if that'll get me the point.
Yes, you're so wise, Jay.
All right, I'll take that one.
Back around.
Mark the
yeah.
That'll get you to a 7.
Take that, Revan Jake.
Thanks, Rev, for being the kid who reminds the teacher that there was homework to turn in at the end of class. Thanks for being on my side.
Oh, I was like, wait, what did I do? I thought that was Tass who started on your side on accident.
On accident, yeah.
So these bones start to rattle and swing in from the surrounding landscape, kind of swirling around this figure. And they do encircle him. They make sort of like a snow fort-esque structure around him. But in their movement and their shifting and, like, the land shifting underneath him and them coming up off the ground, they actually inadvertently just raise him back to his feet in the middle of this structure, so that by the time it is built, it is surrounding him, but he is back up and in action. And it is about this time that Kim's hold over him ends. You can see Tass that as those last bones shift into place, blocking your view, his eyes clear and the bullet hole through his head seems to get his attention, but does not seem to have done what you'd hope a bullet hole in the head might do to one.
All right, well, yeah, that confirms some shit. He took one right between the eyes, into the brain pan, didn't put him down, so... What now? What now? What now?
Rob, why are you still here?
Yeah, Rev, your genes, man, they're really wedged in the gears of that mechanism.
George.
I don't
George.
have a knife. I don't have scissors. I don't have a sewing machine.
You got your teeth.
Yeah, I want to try to get unstuck.
Roll strength.
Okay.
Can this be a teamwork? Can I help him?
Yeah, sure. I suppose anybody who wants to commit themselves over there to get hands on Rev and try and help rip him free could roll plus body plus strength as part of a teamwork.
Okay.
Are we all doing this? Is this a group effort to free Rev from his
That's up to
genes?
y'all. How many of you want to all be in the same place doing the same thing at the same time right now?
7.
12.
2.
Oh!
Okay. Tass and Megan, you run over to Rev and you're all just like heaving, trying to rip him free. And yeah, Tass, you get a good grip and a good rip. And
Grip and rip it.
yeah. Rev, you get some of those like fashionably split down the side from like the calf down
Ooh.
one of your legs. But yes, you do get pulled free from the mechanism.
Finally, I can show off my Victorian calves in this Wild West.
Oh, you're excellent.
And you all hear a shotgun blast. And you see a big chunk of the bones that are swirling around him get blown out and away, creating an opening through which you can see the figure. He is holding a sawed-off shotgun that he has just discharged to try and break his way free. Kim, you did not join the effort. What are you up to?
I'm running for a rune.
Okay, I think this is going to be an acrobatics on your part also, or an athletics, but they're the same roll either way.
It's the same thing for me. 10.
You bolt and get to an alternative nearby rune than the one that Rev was trapped near. And up close, you can see how these are formed. They look like once upon a time they were probably etched, like carved in here, but they've been here for a super long time, to the point that they are like eroded in. They are like tiny little canyons, each mark of the runes. Not especially wide, but quite deep and quite craggy. How do you want to try to mar one?
I have a hunting knife in my inventory. I want to pull it out and try to drag like a fissure through the crack.
All right, so due to the nature of the ground and like the erosion, the depth of these runes, this is going to be tough. I think this is going to be use a skill with strength to power through the earth with your knife.
Okay. 7.
All right, you bury this knife in the rune. You have to cut hard to get through the hard-packed earth. But you manage to cleft through a section that intersects a couple lines in this rune, sort of creating a new little canyon, but breaking the spell. But as you try to withdraw, you realize that with all the force you had to use, you buried the knife too deep and have stabbed it through the sleeve of your jacket, pinning your arm to the ground. You all feel that wash of the spell circle being broken. The effect ends. And you can see that Kim is, at the moment, down on the ground near one of them. It seems like she managed to get to one and get it busted. But you can also see that that figure, as the bones try to kind of recongeal, is just readying another shot, trying to blast his way through and out after you all.
I'm just taking this moment. I've still got one gun, but I'm trying to unjam my other one.
Okay.
I want to draw my rifle off my back and size up at him. Megan, push! And I want to fire.
All right. Megan, are you also trying to blast him?
Yeah, I'm going to use the same kind of tactic here with the bird bones, but instead I'm going to use them to make like a wave and like take the ones that are closer to us and like force a ripple of all these bones out towards him to like knock him backwards.
Okay. So you can both roll to go weird at, say, level 3. He's your own size. But you're also each going to take a -2 to this roll.
6.
4!
Hear me out, though. Not all monsters are monsters.
Just for that, the negative of this affects you. Just inexplicably.
It's these negatives, though, because it's like anything that I was like, yeah, I'm pretty good at this. I just need that little bit of a bonus from those stats. And it's exactly what I would have added.
I just keep rolling snake eyes no matter what dice I'm rolling.
we got a grit.
That's true.
You got grit, yeah?
I got 3 now.
Hell yeah.
They don't do me any good at this moment.
Not right this second, no. So, Rev, you fire your force blast, and Megan, you kind of redirect like the bones in a wave to try and wash him away. And he just times it out exactly right, that as that wave, like kind of the front end of that wave hits him, he takes like one step up onto the front edge of the wave of bones, and then up and over it, and just kind of walks down the opposite side, shooting.
Fuck, he's so cool. Yeah, I let him kill me.
Yeah.
I don't even try anymore. Tell my story and tell how cool it was when it happened. Not me. I was obviously not the cool one, but just make sure this guy's story is
How
told.
cool my death was.
Yeah.
Why don't you each roll the harm move?
Oh no.
So that's going to be plus body plus 1.
6.
7.
So Megan, you take a bullet to just the upper leg, just through your thigh, and that leg gives out under you. You hit the dirt. Rev, his other shot, goes through your right hand, and your rifle pops out of your hands and lands on the ground. So this is non-lethal harm. He is not shooting to kill, it seems. He is shooting to disable. So Megan, with a failure, you are disabled. You cannot act at all. Rev, you will take a wound. So describe it and write it on your character sheet.
To go back to a very old cowboy joke, I think someone shot my paw.
So you will be unable to act for a moment, and will take -1 ongoing to body rolls until you are healed. But because this is non-lethal, it'll heal after a short rest, like an hour.
Okay.
The hole in his hand will heal after an hour?
Just a bunch of buckshot.
Yeah, maybe it's a gray. Yeah, maybe it's just some pellets. It's you just got to pick them all out of there and let it scab.
He's
let
got
it air
a
out.
hole in his hand, not cleaned through his hand.
Tass, what are you up to? What's your deal?
Okay, so I've shot him twice. Once between the eyes. Is there a hole? Has he healed up? Does it just seem like it just went through and isn't affecting him?
Why don't you read a situation?
Okay. That is 10.
All right, you get 3 questions. I know some of these kind of refer to like as if there's a group of enemies.
Yeah.
But I can try to answer them in the framework of this single enemy if you ask something along those lines.
I'm trying to gauge what about him is vulnerable to me.
Sure. So there are bullet holes in him from where you have shot, and they don't seem to be just closing back up and healing. The reason being, you still have holy guns, and you are fighting an undead. So I think you get the impression that you, by coincidence, you are the only one who has shot him. You'd probably be the only one doing damage to him with bullets, even if everybody else was shooting him. That being said, it doesn't seem like where you're shooting him really fucking matters, because like his body, his physicality, kind of irrelevant. He's some kind of undead. You know, you shot him in what's left of a brain. That didn't kill him instantly or anything. It just seems like there's going to be a threshold you've got to hit of how many times you hit him in ways that matter before he stops working.
Got it. So it's not, I'm not looking for the shiny red gem that opens up in the panel every few minutes. I just have to shred him enough that he just can't anymore.
Assuming we're talking about shooting him with holy bullets, yes.
Well, I know which enemy is the biggest threat. I guess I'm just trying to gauge with what he's doing is the fact that he's also got weapons and is using them. Is that the most dangerous part? Like, is that what I'm trying to cover for my friends, is like get him to stop shooting? Or is he displaying anything that makes me think like there's something more dangerous about him that I haven't noticed?
Yeah. I can only answer based on what I speculate you would consider the greatest danger.
Sure.
Because, yes, the having guns and being good at shooting them is obvious. You've also been told and now seen demonstrated that just if a game of chance is going to shake out, it tends to shake out in his favor. I think the one that you have touched on but not really delved into so far is that he's loose now. He was being held in by the circle, which, as we know, is frequently not the case with these. They aren't often prisons, like just by nature of the magic. This one was. He was trapped up here because of the circle. So if you flee, if you try to run away, if you try to put him to sleep and get out of here before he wakes up or whatever, he can follow, and it sure seems like he will. And because he is undead, and you think the only thing killing him right now is holy bullets, he could probably do pretty much fucking whatever to follow you and survive it.
So really, the most dangerous aspect of him is continuing.
Pretty much.
Okay, so this lucky kind of situation, this aura, this essence to him. I don't know if this is like leaning into another aspect of what's vulnerable about him or like his true position, something like that. But I mean, functionally, I'm trying to gauge if he has done anything or if I have seen anything that would give me an idea of how to get around that, on how to, do something to distract him or I don't know. I don't know what it is. If there's something that I think this will supersede that luck that he's boasted about.
Kind of sounds like maybe even a what's my best way past or something.
Yeah, that. Everyone, pretend I said that.
I'm trying to think, because as I feel I've said before, I don't generally plan the solutions to these things. I just come up with the problem, and I trust you to come up with the solution. So I don't have one in mind. I don't have, like, a hack that might best him. And I'm trying... do you have a thought on what it might be? Because I'm trying to think of a way you could come at this that would bypass his luck.
I mean, I have ideas, but it sort of is based around understanding how and why he's lucky, and I don't think I could figure that out. I don't think I have enough knowledge of magic and that kind of thing. Like, I've been around it, but that doesn't mean I understand those effects. Like, in my mind, part of it is like, well, is this directed? Is it like if he's aware of a situation, by virtue of being aware of it, he can manipulate things in his favor, versus more like domino, someone that just happens to fall into the world where they need to and do the things that they need to, or dodge where they need to, just because it has happened to happen. Like there's kind of different flavors to it, and depending on the answer to that would give me ideas of what to do, but I genuinely don't think I could figure that out.
Could he figure it out from having seen like what the wind did to him with the bones? Like, was he aware of that situation, that it was happening to him? Or did he just get put up on his feet and was like, oh, nice?
That's a good point. I think also, Tass, there's a bit of you that is picking up on the magic of this more than I think you're giving yourself credit for. I think you have a better sense of what's kind of powering this than like you are expecting yourself to.
Okay.
So this doesn't seem to be something that he is powering. Like, he is not deciding to use luck and a good thing happens. This is just kind of like, he's got like a Midas touch. This is just, it exudes around him, and whatever it touches goes his way if there's the potential for it to go his way.
Okay. Am I mixing up my stuff or completely wrong comic book wise? It less long shot, more domino. Is that right, or is that wrong?
I think domino just has the aura.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
yes, he has got the domino effect, but like the good one. That's
Yeah, okay. Then I think I just need to go for it. Like, I got in kind of a free shot because he couldn't defend himself. I'm going to see if I can't shoot off his trigger finger.
all right, Tass, give me a shoot roll. Once again, you're going to take a -3.
Okay.
And I think I'm going to invoke your issue against you that you are preoccupied.
God damn it.
Do you want to spend a grit to not take that -1?
Yes.
Okay. Ooh, feels good. So exciting.
Flexing your
Alright.
GM muscles.
Do I still get my +1 forward from acting on the information?
Yeah, this would be the first roll since you earned it.
Oh, thank God. So that brings my 6 to a 7.
You level your gun at him, and as you do in like slow-mo bullet time, you see a look on his face, like he somehow realizes that he's not going to get off scot-free on this one. And he reaches back with his left hand and grabs that rifle, and as he pulls it out, he like spins it to cock it by the hammer. And you shoot, and his right hand explodes. But it's like he knew that was going to happen, because he fires this shot with his left, and your gun rockets out of your hand.
The Crit Show is a Critshow Studios production, edited and produced by Brandon Wentz with music by Jake Purley. You can find more information about us at thecritshowpodcast.com. To keep up to date with upcoming live shows, contests, and other special events, follow us at The Crit Show on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. For even more weekly content, join us at patreon.com/thecritShow.